Cam, ready? We go ham. It's your boy Tony G. Big Lou. Week one of NFL was crazy. Week two of college was crazy. We're gonna cover a couple games and we'll get into what we got. We'll get into the pros.
All right.
USC loses to Stanford.
Yes.
Stanford beats them by almost 20 or about 20ish, and they were getting 20, and the poor man lost his job over that.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Yeah.
You know, it's
Clay Hilton.
So what's so crazy about USC is since Pete Carroll's left, it's kind of lost. And I guess that like they were saying today, they need, not only do they need a winning coach, but they need somebody kind of Hollywood. They need somebody that's a big figure. You know what I mean? Like somebody that's, because they were throwing around some names and they're like, well, those are great coaches, but they don't fit in the California. They fit in the Midwest. They're Midwest. They're not Hollywood enough. Right there. Another thing is that it's time for them to start looking outside the box, because they've been doing the Pete Carroll thing since Pete Carroll left, kind of picking off his, and it's not working.
Picking off his tree, and it's not working. It's not working.
It's not working at all. So
it's really time for them to just go for a good candidate, a good quality candidate, and they have the funds.
Yes, they do.
To scout a good winning coach. Flash is, you're being left behind, and USC is one of those schools that has to be great. That deserves to be great. You need to be in their talk. Has been there in almost 2 decades. So
well, with them is they're starting to become irrelevant.
Right, they're sliding down the other teams in the Pac-12 are rising the boat. Now Oregon is becoming, the big name. Oregon, and now Washington is coming up. Arizona. Everybody else is buzz. So let's stop going for the flash. Hire you a team to get you a coach that will coach that style of football and to get their name back to where it was.
And turn in and do it reverse.
Yes.
Turn him into a star by making the team great, which will in turn make him a star instead of bringing a star in that's not making the team great. So, that's definitely – how about what do you think about LSU? They looked they won kind of – they looked okay.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I'm right there with you. They won. It was okay. It wasn't as clean as I would like for it to be. And I understand that there's no more Burrow there. Yeah. So I have to understand that there's new era. So that's fine. What he has to do is get him an offensive guy in there, because I think the defense is his thing, right? So I think they're going to be good on that. But I'm like you. They won, but it wasn't as clean of a win as I would like for it.
Yeah, it was slow paced. It was kind of – again, they lost a lot of players to the NFL. Mm-hmm. They definitely did. I don't know. Like I said, they won, and I think they'll be in a rebuilding stage for. I don't think they're going to be a national championship team for the next year or two. They'll just have to rebuild, reload, recock, go, and call it a day. Couple games of interest on college. Like I say all the time, I'm not the biggest college gambler. I will pick and choose games that I do like. So Oklahoma, Nebraska. Oklahoma is minus 22.
Wow.
This is a long one. I like Nebraska plus 22 to keep Nebraska plus 22. I do. I know they're going to lose, but I think Nebraska can keep it in tight. Mm-hmm. Another one that I like Notre Dame over Purdue. That's going to be a tough game. Notre Dame minus 7. Okay. Georgia Tech, Clemson. You remember Georgia Tech is the in the movie Rudy, that's who Notre Dame was playing at the end of the. little worthless information in case anybody wanted that. Okay,
right.
So so now USC is -8 playing Washington State.
Right.
You got an interim coach coming off a big loss, really an embarrassing loss.
Yes.
I'm expecting USC to come out and play really tough. I like USC minus only because of the circumstances.
Right.
USC, and that's kind of the circumstances. See, I think there was one. And let me put that. I'm gonna move the camera.
Because a lot of the teams that we normally open our wallets for, they're playing, low division or low division teams.
Sure.
So it's like we got UCLA and Fresno State. What do you think about that one? But that's not one of the ones, was it?
Yeah, UCLA and Fresno State. And what is the line on that one? I haven't pulled. Hold on, let me see. UCLA. Let me see. I guess I'm not. I don't know why. It must be at the bottom of my Texas Tech, Charlotte, Utah. Man, there's got to be 1,000 games on Saturday.
It's 1,000 games.
It ain't 1,000, but there's a lot.
And I was just,
all I got.
Looking at some, maybe some possible money games. You got ABC. At 6:30 on ABC, you got the Auburn, number 22 Auburn against number 10 Penn State. That might be a good game.
Yeah. That could be. All of them will be a great game to watch. Yeah. UCLA -11.
Okay. UCLA -11 on Fresno State, which Fresno State is one of those teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to come and play. Fresno State is one of those teams that their players are not as big or, you would think are not as on the caliber of the Division I teams, but you
absolutely,
have to
but they come to play.
Yes. At home or on the road, you got to be ready to play when you play those guys. So
I'm going to go UCLA -11. I'm
right.
Take UCLA.
I will take, the coaching and the experience over UCLA.
Absolutely.
The point. Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I totally agree. Like I said, there's a lot of good games on. The whole Saturday will be packed full.
Yes, Saturday's block. Saturday's block.
Yeah, there's no. Week 2. All right, let's get to it.
Right.
What we wait for. Week 2 NFL. My gosh, there were some crazy games. There were some things, some spreads that, we could talk. So the first game that we talked about last week was, of course, it was Tampa, and it was Tampa and Dallas.
Yes.
Now, contrary to people believe, not that I hate Dallas. Dak looked good. Dak looked real good. Okay, let's be honest. Dak looked good. The secondary, the secondary, and I'm going to tell you something. I know Tampa made a lot of mistakes, stupid penalties, which put Dallas in a better situation. Not taking anything away from the performance of Dak, but Tampa played terrible, and they won the game. And Dallas did cover the spread. I had the Dallas with the over, but of course I had Tampa, but Tampa didn't cover. And Tampa made a lot of mistakes, but at the end they squeaked by, and I'm sure they'll work. And it was there were so many drop balls.
Absolutely, and that was my thing.
But Dak looked good. Yeah.
But Dak did look good. He played better than I thought he was going to play, based off of
because he ain't played in a year. Yeah, he looked good. I don't know what they got going on with the running game with Zeke. I don't know exactly what. I don't know. I don't know what.
I'm right there with you. It's like, I guess.
What do you have? 30 yards?
Maybe Pollard's coming for his. If if Pollard could be a little more consistent, he could come for his job. But he is not impressed since, a lot of people say since he got the money, he slacked off. And it's looking to be that way because he hasn't played to that caliber since before then. You come, and the first telltale is coming in overweight. He did come in and shape this season, but
right, last year he came in a little bit, came in a little heavier.
But he did come in and shape this season. But we're not seeing the productivity.
Right.
We don't expect it to be the old Zeke, but we need to see some Zeke. The Zeke we're seeing is not the Zeke that you've made us accustomed to.
Well, I think with him, and we won't get on. I think with him, I don't think that he got the money and he just stopped trying. I don't think that. I think a lot of things play a factor, and I think one of the biggest factors is that line has deteriorated. It's not as good as it was the year that he ran for all the yards.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens, and if you watched the history or whatever, if you've been watching the NFL for 30 years, you've seen a lot of good running backs. What happens, you get a good running back, he has a good year, and he either gets a couple nicks and bruises or they start teeing off on him and he can't overcome the tee off. Right. What I mean by that, when you start breaking down the great ones like Barry Sanders and Dallas's from the 90s, Emmitt Smith, it doesn't, consistency. You know what I mean? They knew, but again, you're going to have running backs. Look at Gurley a couple years ago. Oh my God, that guy was running into the Hall of Fame, and he had and I hate to say this, but what has he done? You know what I'm saying? Like, really, what
never shook back from the injury.
Never shook back from the injury, and I think Zeke has had some. I think he's taken some.
He's taking.
He's a smaller back. Yes. He's taken some abuse, and they ran the heck out of him, and he could do this all he wants, and that's fine. Feed me. But that body is probably going, man, tell him to pass. Tell him to, tell him to.
Too much fuel in the tank. Too much fuel in the tank. You got to disperse some fuel so you can get refueled.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was definitely interesting. That was our first game. All right. So our first game we're betting on this week is New York Giants, Washington football team. Mm-hmm. Poor Washington lost Fitz for what,
6 to 8 weeks.
So, the Giants, if you're gonna pick this one, I think you have to take the Giants, and they got the Giants +3, and the reason being is I don't know. I'm saying that, and I'm not saying this is one I'm betting on, Giants +3. Because New York, man, Washington's defense is a beast.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And even though they lost Fitz, I think they'll put it together because they're well coached. I think they'll put it together. I really do. I think
Heineke didn't look bad.
No, he didn't look bad.
He looks like he could be a good serviceable quarterback. The defense has got to play better than the hype up behind it, though, if Washington wants to win this game.
Yes.
Because Saquon looks like he's getting back to the old, where he was, or a little bit to where he was. So they're going to have to show up, if because of the hype of what their defense is, and we've hyped them up too. They didn't, prove our point last Sunday.
No, they didn't. Washington lost to a very good Charger team by 4 points. Yes. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And the Chargers quarterback is a stud. He's going to be a stud. And the Giants just are not. I don't know. And I call about the Giants
in a rebuilding stage, but they don't want to admit that they're in a rebuilding stage.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Sounds like
that's what it feels like to me because, we really don't know what they are yet.
Right.
We got to feel what we think they should be with Daniel Jones on and off, But with Saquon Barkley, we feel like we know what they should be, but they really don't. We really don't know, and that has to get figured out so that they can stand on something as they move forward as a football team.
Washington -3. There you go. Done deal.
-3.
I said the Giants spoke. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
How about your Saints?
Okay.
The Saints are playing our Carolina Panthers. Man, the Saints. I was surprised. I'm not even gonna lie and say that I wasn't surprised. I was surprised at the way they dominated over Green Bay. Nothing taken away from the Saints at all. I think.
Right.
I think they're. I mean, I always thought they were a good team. I'll tell you one thing, and I'm nothing against. And I love Breeze to death, but man, they look fresh with that kid.
Yes,
they look fresh.
Now Sean Payton can go over the top, and this is why I kind of say Jameis Winston has a opportunity to be not to be Patrick Mahomes, but to succeed sort of in the same space, is because Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year.
Sure did.
With Andy Reid and his superior offensive methods.
Right.
Same for Jameis Winston. He got to sit and learn with Drew Brees for a year. And with Sean Payton's tutelage to, let the game evolve around you. And now he has the ability to go over the top and challenge those corners, because last season that was an Achilles heel. With that injury Drew Brees had, the field got shorter. So, you don't have to rush your safety, or, you don't have to play up.
Right.
So,
and I think
you can cover to him and get him. Now,
and I think that
now
injury,
with Jameis and him being able to go over the top, I was very impressed with the decision making, him being able to scramble for a couple of first downs, getting down that slide when he slid and he did the perfect slide. I was like, okay, he's ready. Yeah,
he's ready.
It's different. It's not wild, and it's kind of dialed in, and I have good, and I wanted him to win that position. Now he's proven me, as the reason.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I do think that he's going to be successful.
I agree. I totally agree. When we come back from break, we're going to finish talking about the Saints and the Carolina Panther on this game. Got to pay some bills. Appreciate everyone tuning into us every Tuesday night, 8:00. Me and Big Lou on the Sports Book on KM Radio, where we go. Hey. Cam Radio, where we go ham. It's your boy Tony G. We're back, paid some bills. Me and Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8:00. Want to thank everyone for tuning in. We were talking New Orleans Saints, Carolina, and I think getting back to it, and we were talking about when he did do the interview. I mean, he was talking about Drew, about what he got out of Drew, and I thought that was a pretty class act.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, just say, hey man, Drew told me make right decisions and everything else will fall into play. I mean, it was good. He looks good. I just don't think they could have went the other way, because I think what's the other quarterback there? The kid
Taysom Hill.
I think with him, Jason. I think with him, he's a slash. He's a great. You can use him. He can work in it.
Yeah, excellent football hype.
Yeah, he is definitely a football knowledge, and you can go, hey man, I need you to play tight end for I got you. I need you to receive punts. Got it. I need you to play quarterback for a couple plays. Got that. You know what I mean? So utilize him.
Right.
Not as the quarterback. And I think that was the
that was the
what do you think?
The deal.
Yeah.
And
no deal. So what do you think about Carolina?
I think Carolina might be on to something. Sam Donald looked great, under Matt Rule's tutelage. Matt Rule's He's one of those offensive guru guys. They did look good though. I have to give it to him. You know, I thought it was going to be probably a 3 or 4 game progression with Sam, you know, in a new system and everything. But you know, from that game, I think they got something going there.
I do too. I like this. I like the Saints because they're coming off. I like the Saints -3, and I like the over.
Yeah, but of course, you know, I'm going with the Saints for this game. And, you know, the game is in Carolina. No, but playing road games, you know, all season. But I do believe that Jameis is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, and the defense is, oh my goodness. Saints lights out.
Yeah.
Even the rookie got 2 interceptions off Aaron Rodgers, which I believe has not clicked into football, but he's going to click in now. But I believe he was not prepared to play that game.
And you're probably right. I mean, he's going to click. It's going to click back in. I'm not.
This has got him dialed back in because it was an embarrassing loss. Now they got people out there on the web, on the radio, you know, the hot take guys questioning, you know, his legacy and you know, what his game and is he really into it, and you know, just taking everything out of one. You know, it's one game. Yes, he shouldn't have lost this game by the numbers that he did, but I believe he's going to bounce back.
I agree. Houston Texans and Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's -12. Houston Texans plus. So Cleveland had Kansas City on the run.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kansas City looked like they looked sometimes last year in La La Land. Mm-hmm. But in a snap of a finger, it could all be sucked away from you with them. And that's the problem. But I don't like that about them. I hate that about them because it's, you know, they've pulled it out, but you know, there has been a time or two that they didn't, and it's like, guys, why play from behind?
Why does it take so long?
To get into it going. I mean, and I think Cleveland played a great game. I think Cleveland's got a really good team, but I think you know that they're just not ready. I don't think that they're ready for Kansas City, even though you can argue that they had them right there at the end. I think Kansas City's got their number, and I think it may be in Cleveland's head a little bit, but Cleveland's got a great team going forward. Yeah, they got they do. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl ready, but you know, with the right setup, enough injuries, who they play, you never know. Houston Texans. Now they won.
They won.
They did. They beat the Jaguars 37-21. I mean, I was kind of
Tyrod Taylor to the rescue.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I mean, he's another manageable. He's a Fitzpatrick.
He's gonna get you 13, 17 points. You know, it was nothing spectacular. You know, he got 37 last night. You know, which is a good thing. You know, but at the same time, you know, he's one of those guys. He's gonna get you about 20. I'll say 24 good points you can get out of Tyrod Taylor because he's a game manager to the T.
And what'd you think about Sunshine for the Jaguars?
So the jury's still out. I'm rooting for the guy.
Yeah, his first game. I mean, it's his first game in the NFL.
Yeah, first game in the NFL, so I expect the jitters, and it's like I don't have high expectations for rookies game 1. You know, I normally give them, you know, 2, maybe 3 games to you know, finally get adjusted to the speed and, you know, everything and get that routine down. So maybe about week 3, that's when I start assessing rookies. But like I say, it's gonna, you know, give me a couple of weeks. Let me get some tape on them, and then I'll, you know, make an analysis from there. I just feel like you can practice it, and preseason is the same. You know, it's really 2s against 2s and 3s. You know, but
true that.
Yeah. So, you know, give them a couple of weeks. Let them catch up to how everything goes on a week-to-week basis, and then I'll assess probably after week 2. I'll give them after week 2. I'll assess it then. So
okay. I agree with you. That's
after this weekend, then I'll assess, you know, where we at with those guys. Because
Where
I'm
we at
rooting for the
from
kid. I really want him to succeed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I want to give him a couple of games and let him get adjusted to it. And
You see what? So on the going forward. So on. All right. So we were on the Houston Texans. Got a little Houston Texans, Cleveland's minus. I'm not saying that this is a game that I would bet on, but I would. I mean, I have to lean towards the Browns, even though it's minus 12.5 is a lot of points.
Right.
I just, you know what I'm saying? Cleveland's got a really, really good defense, and we'll see if they can. Because if they fluster Tyrod, it's going to be a problem.
They're going to make turn the ball over.
Yeah, and the over's 48. I kind of like the 48. But that, like I said, I'm just giving you what I like. It doesn't mean that's what I'm betting. I'm just I eliminate from what I eliminate from tonight. We've got to kind of go from there. Next game is, speaking of Joe Burrows, Cincinnati Bengals, Chicago Bears.
In Chicago.
In Chicago, home field. It's only 3 points. I mean, Joe Burrows, I mean, they're coming. I don't know. What do you think? You think I think he's definitely going to be fine in the NFL. I mean, they beat the Vikings 27-24. Was a pretty I mean, it was a good game all the way down. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it went to overtime. You couldn't ask for. I mean, it was kind of. So they fought. And so Chicago, you know, I don't know. The Bears are getting to where they're just not catching any breaks.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so they got pummeled by the Rams, 34-14. Good. Yeah.
You know, and Stafford knows that team. So
yes.
Yeah.
So he cooked. And now he's got all this. Now he's got all this weapons with him. He's got a really good defense to back him. You know what I mean? He's got a lot. He's in a better situation.
Right.
And they're giving the Bears are -3, and I think on this, I think you have to. I mean, Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati.
Yes.
Even though they're playing at home, even though they're playing away.
Even though they're playing in Chicago, you know, still same weather conditions. I think that Cincinnati has the better team, so I'm gonna go with Cincinnati on that. With the
Cincinnati. The over's 45. It's doable, but I don't know. You know, with Cincy, they played Minnesota, who can score some points. Even when Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. But I don't know if Chicago, like I can see Cincinnati scoring 27 points, but I don't know how many points. I don't know. I mean, Chicago may score 10 because they haven't put it together exactly on offense. So I don't know. The under in Cincinnati isn't not a bad bet. Cincinnati and the under. We'll we can go with that. Our next game of interest here is the Buffalo Bills in Miami. Wow. And Buffalo just looked flat. There was some bad play calling.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. I mean, it just was not the Bills' day. And Pittsburgh came out and slapped them. I mean, that's what
Pittsburgh came to play. And
Pittsburgh
you have to, regardless of what Pittsburgh Steelers team you think you might play, you got to come out ready.
And they beat them 23-16. Made a little bit of a run at later, make it a little bit closer than what it was, but it really wasn't. They had their way. So the Bills are playing Miami.
Mm-hmm. In Miami.
You know, in Miami. It's been a big rivalry forever. You know, and
Tua's okay. I don't know. He still just hasn't convinced me yet. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe it's a wow factor is what the wow factor that we think he's supposed to be. He's winning the games.
Yeah.
And he's okay. He's, you know, it's like it's hard for me to say good yet. But he's okay. But I just feel like any day they can get beat.
Yeah, I agree.
And,
So what'd you
you know,
think? What'd you think of New
just
England?
feel like there's a game where they could get beat badly with him at quarterback. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm being
What'd you think?
maybe I'm being a Tua hater. I'm not. You know, I'm just saying it's just me. He's winning games. I give him that. They beat the Patriots with Matty Jones.
Matty Jones, I thought he looked.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good possession. I mean, first game in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think, and I think Belichick probably made the right decision.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I think that's a young guy. You can build a team around. Him and like I said, Miami and New England, they're in the same division. Buffalo is. They play.
Yeah.
Them teams know each other. Usually
they know each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
usually
why
a tight.
that might be one Buffalo can get because of Tua. You know, but that's just me. You know, I don't think. Well, I'll see. Because he does win games. I got to give him his props.
Yeah.
But
they're playing in Miami.
they're playing in Miami, whole crowd. But I just think Buffalo's going to come to play because they play those guys all the time.
Yeah.
Used to playing in Miami and they know their crowd. So
right.
I think
I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm staying away from the over under. I may lean towards the under. But yeah, I've got Buffalo in the under. 3, 4. Yeah, Buffalo in the under.
Yeah.
Next game of interest, LA Rams, Indianapolis Colts. I was very surprised that Indianapolis was plus points at home against Seattle.
I was too. I was like, wow.
But Seattle, I know, but Seattle came and spanked. I mean, I was really surprised. That was really one. Had one of my guys pick that, and I was like, and when he picked it, I was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, no, I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm not saying that. I was like, I don't know, and then to watch Seattle, to manhandle them like that, it was really, really something.
My eyes were broke because I always give praise to Indianapolis' defense, how young and aggressive they are. Right. I always give them props, and to see Seattle do what they did. But
38 points.
Got Lockett, 38. Metcalf, and Metcalf is just a monster. That guy's a monster. But, it shocked me too. I was like, wow. The whole division, the NFC West is going to be a problem.
Yep.
All those guys look good.
Now the Rams, my friend, may be something.
Yes. And they don't have the high caliber, receivers either. They just got very good A-, B+ area receivers that get the job done.
Good route runners.
Yes.
Good time routes. The defense is a stud.
Right.
And I think Matt
Stafford can put the ball downfield and doesn't need a lot of time to make decisions.
Right. That's right. And I think they're I think they're going to be a team to beat. And watching Indianapolis, if Indianapolis loses 2 at home, I mean, you're almost saying, and this is a hard one for me to really pick, but I'm going to go with LA because of what I saw last week with. Frank White's going to he's going to turn it around. Frank Wright's going to turn it around. There's no doubt. But they may have a couple. I mean, them to drop 0-2.
It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough.
Yeah, and they're in for
Aaron Donald and Patrick Ramsey.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Those guys are eating.
Yep, and because LA is going to put the deep ball on them. That's for sure, and I can't blame them. I mean, it's not like it's not the smart thing to do. So, in all honesty, LA Rams minus the 4 with the over at 47 is not a bad bet. actually, it's a very good bet. And that's one that I would put on my list. Definitely, definitely put on our list. So when we get back, we're going to talk some more football. We got the rest of our picks. We got the rest of the rest of our schedule to follow through. I want to thank everyone who tunes in every Tuesday night, listen to me and Big Lou on KM Radio. And like we always tell you guys, there's lots of good programming on KM Radio. So please tune in. I mean, tune in anytime if you're at work. It's a great setup. You're at work. Go to your laptop, go to your icon, press play, and you can listen to our show, music, or many of the other shows that are on. So, I mean, it's a great little, and you just put it to the side, put it on low, and you can listen to it. You can listen to us at work. You can listen to all the other programming that we have on the station. And so we just want to thank everybody again for tuning in and making us possible. And like I said, when we get back, we're going to cover the rest of our games. We just got done talking about LA Rams, Indianapolis Colts, and the pick was the Rams -4 and the over, and the over at 47.5. So that was our last pick. When we get back, we're going to break down the San Francisco and Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so let's pay some bills right here on KM Radio, where we go ham. KM Radio, we go ham. Your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on KM Radio. Sportsbook, get your picks, man. We're trying to make some money. All right, we're coming back. Next game on the sheets. San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles. How about Jimmy? I mean, Jimmy looked good.
Yeah.
Jimmy I mean, really, that's it. Yeah, I mean, they were so, to me, they turned that whole thing into way more of a deal. And, here, and like I said, here's the deal. Let Jimmy play. If he does get hurt, you got that much confidence in this kid. Bam, there you go. He's in, he's rolling. You never miss a beat.
Right.
And, like I said, we've said this 100 times. Jimmy's had a lot of health issues. But heck, he's got a heck of a winning percentage as far as a quarterback. He's no joke. I mean,
he's a great quarterback.
Yeah, he really. He looked good yesterday. Now, they let them. The Lions gave a little bit of a run at the end.
Yes.
They showed me a lot of heart. So that was good. And they gave it right to them to the end. But San Fran did break it off. I mean, did end up winning the game.
Right.
So that was great for them. And then, so San Francisco is playing the Eagles.
Yes.
Tell me about the Eagles.
Why?
Why?
Wow. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Wow.
They beat up on Atlanta.
Yeah, they beat up on Atlanta. Seriously, they're. But we all understand that Atlanta's rebuilding. Their defense is atrocious. They definitely got to get somebody in there to fix that. But I was just shocked at the amount of points Philadelphia put on Atlanta. I didn't expect Atlanta to win the game, but I thought they were going to keep it within at least 10 points. But my goodness.
But I mean, he looked good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He looked good too. He was zipping the ball. He definitely he looked comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit for some first downs, got out of the way, got out of harm's way when he had to. So yeah.
So here's this. We know when people want to break stuff down and go into. Yeah. But he is not playing the Atlanta defense this weekend. He's playing San Francisco's defense.
San Francisco's defense.
Yeah, and this is a whole different level. Yeah, Super Bowl caliber. Yeah, honestly, I think that's fair to say. So this is going to be a really good test for him. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a really good test, actually. My question is, their defense is the Eagles' defense going to be able to contain San Francisco.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they might be able to keep it short. Like I said, this is going to be a good test, but I think gambling wise, you just have to go with San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's minus 3.5. Yeah, it's too close.
Yeah, it's too close.
Not anything. Yeah, it's not like they're giving the Eagles. And it's week 2, so you can't expect to see. That's why I was really kind of surprised on the 12.5 points that Cleveland or they get. Yeah, I was like, gee, week 2, I would have thought maybe 8, 9 or so. I mean, I gotta go with the 49ers. And yeah, the 49ers -3. Next game is the Denver Broncos and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
Denver looks good.
Yeah. Teddy Ted.
I mean, Denver looks, and here's another thing a lot of people don't realize is they got a healthy defense.
Yes.
Finally. Yeah. They haven't been.
Finally got Chubb and Von Miller on the field at the same time.
Because you realize since they won the Super Bowl, they've had injury problems.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And last year was bad. The year before, I mean, it's been they're 100%. And that being said, I mean, obviously Ware's not on the defense. He's retired. But that defense at 100% is scary. And it's a lot to handle.
Right. Because they have very capable DBs. So it's not like you can just throw over the top of them. They got capable DBs over there too.
Right.
But yeah. Wow.
And I just think the Jaguars just don't have it.
Yeah, they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet.
They're not ready yet. And it's only -6, and the spread and the over's 45.5. And let me look. I'm looking at 2 different devices. All right, so
yeah. So only thing about them,
I don't know.
They can't lose it.
Yeah.
They can't. They they can win it, but then they can't lose it. They'll they just can't lose the game. Just go in there, play their game, get the dub, get out of there. Don't go in there and underestimate them because they're a young team.
Absolutely.
A wicked head coach, wicked quarterback. Don't play into that mentality.
Right. That's true. So I mean, you got to go. I mean, like I said, Denver -6.
Yeah.
The over's 45. I would look at that maybe on Sunday before I put my bet in and kind of go from there. New England Patriots and the New York Jets. New England is visiting New York Jets. I like the way Miami looked. I like the way New England looked.
Yes.
Because you could just see that with Belichick, it's one thing. I guess it's a good lesson. So you lose, you evaluate the situation, and you come back and work on what you need to improve on.
Right.
And I think you'll see a better Matt Jones this week than you did week 1, which could be, that could be a little scary because that kid gets better and better every week because he, and then the Jets. Oh, the Jets. What are we going to do with the Jets? Yeah. Somebody.
Robert Saleh. No, he doesn't have enough talent to win this game against Belichick and Josh McDaniels.
No, he just. I mean, they hung in there with the Panthers.
Yeah.
They did. It was a good game, but I think this one, I think New England's going to pull out from them, and I think. Here's the deal. The over is only 43, which is very tempting. But my problem is New England's defense is very good.
Yes.
And they're just getting, I remember a lot of them opted out last year. So they're tuning, they're tuning up too. So I don't see, I can see New England scoring 20, 27 points, and I see the Jets scoring 7. So I don't know. The over-under is it's one of those over-unders that you go, oh, yeah, they could do that. I might stay away from the over-under on this. I'm going to look at it again. It's another one I'm going to look. I'm gonna look at it Sunday, but definitely New England -5.5. Got to take them.
Yeah.
Even as the Jets are at home. Minnesota at Arizona. All right, so Minnesota Vikings at the Arizona Cardinals. It's only a 4-point game, which is kind of wild to me. Yeah, because to me, Arizona is way more firepower.
They are on fire. They are on fire. DeAndre Hopkins is a flat out monster.
Yes, and you don't think Murray reminds you of Tua, or Tua doesn't remind you of Murray?
I agree.
Resemblance, resembles.
Very so it's like, but Kyler is like a step, maybe a step and a half, a little bit quicker.
Yeah. He may see
but they're similar in the play. They are similar.
Yes, I mean they're. It's definitely have some similarities in how they play. I mean, this game, to me, it's not much of a choice. I mean, I think Arizona -4 at home is I mean, there's nothing. There's no argument that I don't even know if I could listen to someone try to. There's some games you could go either way but I gotta go with Arizona -4. The over under is 51. I like the over because Minnesota will score some points. They'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
And then Arizona is going to score. Is going to score a bunch of points. Arizona.
Time to time on that one. There's a lot of games going at 3, but I'm going to peek in on that game from time to time just to see, the flow, just to get the flow of it, see what's going on with it.
Right. Yeah. So bottom line, Arizona -4. Next game is Atlanta. Poor Atlanta. Atlanta's playing Tampa Bay.
Oh my God. In Tampa.
The point spread's 13, which is a lot of points to me. Week 2. The over's 52. And the sad part is I could see Tampa Bay scoring 52 points.
Yeah, because Tom is going to eat that defense. He's going to eat it.
Oh, yeah. And that I'm sure the conversations weren't nice about the drop balls, about the stupid penalties.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and there were some bad, don't get me wrong, there were some bad calls, but man, some of that was just like, come on, guys, you serious, man? You got another penalty?
Right.
You can't make those so I'm looking for Tampa Bay to come in real clean this week. And Tom wants to get back in a groove.
Yeah.
Because you could tell he wasn't happy.
No.
And they say Dak told him we'll meet again. That's cliche. I get it.
I give
little
Dak,
a little moxie from Dak. Dak, and I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's good. I mean, got to have a little moxie. But after a while, you got to start backing the moxie up, though. You know what I mean? You got to get some jewelry to go with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Don't give Tom nothing don't give him anything
to feed off of. Yeah, you might not want to see him again. You know what I mean? You might not want to see
not
him
at that time of the year. Anyway.
Yeah. So you gotta go with Tampa -13. That's a lot of points, but Atlanta looked so bad last week that Tampa -13 at home, and I take the over. Not 100% on the over, but right now Tampa -13. All right, what happened in Tennessee?
Man, I
What
don't
happened?
know. They gotta clean up some stuff because and it was Arizona that went in there and wasn't it? Yeah, Arizona went to Tennessee and put it on them. Now they have to travel and go deal with Russell Wilson and those guys. So
38, I think it was 38-13 or something. And and obviously Henry didn't do what you know what I mean? And so that's kind of scary to me. Because now you're going up against a very crafty Seattle.
Right, with Russell Wilson's and Pete Carroll's defense, which may not be the Legion of Boom anymore, but bend but don't break. You'll score some points, you'll get some yards, but they clamp down when it's time to. So
Right.
I don't have a lot of confidence in Tennessee playing, in Seattle. For the record, I'm going to have question marks with any team going to the NFC West to play.
Yeah, you have to.
It's just going to be hard for me because all 4 teams won, and all 4 teams look like they're firing on all cylinders.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you have to go with Seattle.
Got to.
I don't think it's this week. Tennessee turns it around. Going forward to that, because we got that. All right. So we got the Cowboys and the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-point game. I don't like this game as far as gambling, and I'm going to tell you why real briefly.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a tough one. I think it's one where they both have to win because the Chargers got to, the Dallas needs to win so they don't go 0-2.
Right.
The Chargers need to keep that momentum.
Yes.
And keep what they got going on. It's very important, and it's a tight game. It's 3. They're playing in Los Angeles. It's going to be a tough game, and I think they're going to try to put the squeeze on Dak with the defense. There's absolutely no. I mean, the over's 55. And again, I always say wait to Saturday because you don't know. Something could happen. Somebody could get injured. Somebody could have COVID-19. So right now, I'm out on this.
Yeah,
going to be a great game to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna peek it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the game, but
there's no doubt.
Gambling, I'm out because you don't know with Dallas. It's hard to say, and
you just don't. Yeah,
the Chargers are going to clean it up, but the Chargers can't. Dallas is one of those teams that can make it go the distance or might pull off a dub. But it's like you can't, and we understand, with gambling, you gotta
put it in.
This one I'm staying away from because there's too many intangibles.
Absolutely. So moving forward, we're kind of fit everything in our time. Mm-hmm. So Kansas City, Baltimore Ravens. The reason why I don't think there's a lot to talk about on this game, even though there is, Kansas City has owned Baltimore.
Right. And Baltimore is not at full strength because those guys are out for a while.
I'm going with Kansas City. They've beat them every angle. You know what I'm saying? They seem to have their number. It's kind of like the Giants had New England's number. They just had it. I don't know why. I can't really – nothing against Baltimore Ravens. Very good team. Lamar's a stud. So I think – I mean, there's no doubt. Baltimore. It's Kansas City. That's the night game. That's going to be a very good game. -3. The over's 55. May look at the over, but I like Kansas City. And again, watch these lines because people will get hurt, people will get sick, and especially with COVID-19. Once they sick, it added one more dimension of who's on the injured reserve. So our last game, talking about, we got 2 minutes left. Mm-hmm. Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. I think it's going to be a long day for the Detroit Lions.
Yes, because they're playing at Green Bay. They've been embarrassed, so they're going to get it right. And I think Aaron's going to be ready to play with this. Now
it's plus 10 points. Now that's the part that could be interesting because
it's an in-division game. So Detroit might come to play.
May come to play, and the Green Bay. We're talking about beating the point spread. So that's a huge. That's a huge. I don't know, 10.5. I'm looking at my. 10.5's a lot. I don't know. I have to look back at that. I may be willing to lean on 10.5. We'll see where the point spread where it changes to, because it will change.
Right.
It may change. It may go down. If it goes down, definitely stay away from Detroit. But I can't see it going up. So look, man, it was a great show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on the Sports Book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Me and Big Lou, Cam Radio. We go ham.